ever had a relationship with Christ, one word that I would use to describe my life is empty. I'd always known who God was and said that I believed in him. I occasionally went to church growing up, but I kind of just kept God distant, and I didn't really keep my faith as a priority. Instead, I had this hole inside of me that just felt really empty, and I just had this longing to fulfill it. I really just wanted to be loved and accepted, and just really wanted to be wanted by other people. So I was very self-absorbed in trying to fulfill that, and therefore, especially in high school, I turned to my success in school and sports, and friendships and relationships. However, all these things were very temporary and would never completely satisfy this longing that I had. And I therefore ended up finding myself being hurt in relationships or being betrayed by friends and just feeling really lost in life. And towards the end of high school and beginning of college, I was just really feeling very hopeless and feeling like I had no purpose here, and just really got to the point of questioning the point of life. And at the same time dealing with anxiety and being overwhelmed with life and feeling really numb inside, but also holding on to that pain that I was feeling because it was the only feeling that I had at the time. But then I came to college and I went to Cru, and I really heard the gospel for what it was. And it was something that I'd never really heard before or really ever known. And just hearing that God loved me and that he had sent down his son to die for all of my sins, and that he wanted me. And it just seemed so unreal at first, and that I wasn't worth it, that there's no way that God would do that for someone who was so sinful and so broken. And I just felt really unlovable and just felt that that wasn't for me. However, I continued to starting to pray and reading my Bible and just really trying to figure out what a relationship with Christ looked like. And through that process, I just really heard God speaking to me and just telling me that he did love me and that he chose me and adopted me into his family. And it was the first time that I'd ever experienced a love like this, and just feeling love for exactly who I was, for all the good and for all the bad. And it was just something that was really special, and really realizing that I needed to surrender my life to Christ. And even though this wasn't easy, I realized that I was at rock bottom and that it was the only thing left. So I ended up surrendering my life to Christ, and doing that, I really realized my new identity in him. And it says that in 2 Corinthians 5:17, that we are made new in Christ. And because of that, and through my relationship with Christ, that I'm constantly reminded of his grace and his love for me, and that I don't need to worry about being unloved or unforgiven, because God has covered all of that for me, and that he does love me. So through all this transformation of my heart, I've really realized and become alive and made new in Christ. I'm Ragan Wilson, and this is